What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Of course, you're watching TWA Motorsports. And in today's video, yes, we did buy another vehicle. Now, before anybody screams at the camera, guys, it is not for me to work on here. It's for the shop. The only reason I'm showing you is because you're probably gonna see it in the background. You're gonna wonder what's going on with it. And you may see some content on it down the road if I ever do anything to it, because there's a few things that I wanna tweak and fix. But for the most part, it's not gonna be like a mainstay on the channel. And I'm still trying to figure out if I wanna take you guys through the shop or kind of talk about what we do. I've stopped the shop once in a past video when we picked up the turbo truck. I believe I stopped in that video and kind of showed you guys what it looked like. But yeah, I don't really know yet. But we've been doing a lot out here when I have time. Look, it's a busy life. Practices, kids, family. It's a lot, guys. Anyway, the Tahoe is still coming along. You guys are going to be seeing a video on it very soon, hopefully. Pulled the gauges out of the green truck recently. They will be coming back. Actually, they're in the process of shipping back to me now. I'm excited about getting those back and showing you guys what a huge upgrade that's going to be. But anyway, let's go out here and take a look at this truck because it's kind of cool and it's kind of dated at the same time. And it's really funny because we actually have two of the same trucks out here at the same time. That is right, guys. I bought another red Silverado. How crazy is that? Look, here's why I bought this the way I did. First of all, the whole point of that truck was I was gonna take all the stuff off of it, put it back to stock. But when I started doing the math on that, guys, it just didn't make a whole lot of sense. All the stuff that's missing on that truck would cost a fortune to put back on it. And so I was gonna try to find some used stuff. Not a lot of used stuff that I trust. I would have had to find a motor. I would have had to find a transmission, transfer case. They pulled the front differential out of it. I want all that stuff to work again if I was gonna get one. And I don't necessarily need a four-wheel drive, but what I did want is a red truck. And the reason I wanted a red one is because we have a red rollback at the shop and we have a red wrecker. And right now we're using a Dodge long bed and it's silver and it's a turd and I hate Dodges. And so I wanted to get rid of that thing. So I wanted a shop truck that was red, that I could put the logos of the shop on the side of, that I could maybe put some stickers on the side of with like the phone number and whatnot for the shop. So that is the plan anyway, to do that. But this thing is a 2001, whereas that one's a 99. They're very similar as far as, you know, the way they look. Obviously one's got a big intercooler sticking out of the front, but let's talk about this one. I wanted this because like all the reds in these years, guys, the clear, if they were in a warm environment, it all baked off. So you can see the clear is missing on parts of the top, parts of the hood, parts of the upper fenders and tops of the doors and whatnot. But look, this thing is super solid. There is zero rust on the side of it. Now, why is it that I can live without clear coat, but I can't live with rust? I don't know, but that's just the way I am. Those unsightly holes on the side, I just hate them. That to me looks more like a patina. I don't know, call me crazy, but bedsides are good. But let's talk about, like I said, this truck came from a southern climate. The guy actually bought this in California during COVID, and he told me because the car rentals, they weren't letting people rent cars, he decided, since he was out there, he's like, I'll just buy a truck and drive it back. And I bought this about 3 hours north in Missouri. He's been driving it ever since then. So what's that, 2020? So about 5 years he's had this truck, but it has some California looks to it. And when I say that, there's a couple things I'm going to show you that is like, it looks like it came from there and it was built maybe in the 90s, or I guess it's a 2001, but it was built in the early 2000s. Obviously the biggest one, guys, is it's got a set of centerline billets. Now, one of the things, I do like the billets, don't get me wrong, but when you have a set of billet wheels, you're constantly polishing them. It's hard to keep up with, and it's not something that would be great to set outside for a shop truck because they're always going to look like that milky dull finish like they have right now. I think they would shine up really well. So I would like to get a different set of wheels for it. Maybe something that's easier to keep clean, a painted or a polished or chrome or something like that. When I say polished, like polished with clear coat, I think that would be a lot easier. And I actually think I have found a set local that I'm going to try to buy and put on this with some new tires. The back tires are kind of rough, but one thing I did notice the other day, it was pulling a little bit to the right, and on this tire here had like 20 pounds in it and the other side had 65, or vice versa, and it was pulling to the right. So once I addressed that, all my pulling went away. But One thing I will, and I don't know if this is because it was wrecked at one point or a wheel got damaged, but all of the valve stems on this truck are on the barrel. Okay, so there it is right there on the inside. So it's inside the barrel. Now it's easy to access, it's not bad. But when I was airing all these tires up and checking the pressures all the way around, check out what I noticed. For some reason on this wheel, it's on the outside. Now this wheel is the exact same. It's a little more shiny than the others, so I don't know if at some point maybe Centerline updated that where they put the valve stem on the outside. Let me know in the comments if you know anything about that. But so the billets are a dead giveaway. Not a lot of people around here have that. The billet grill and the billet emblem to me scream like late 90s, early 2000. I don't necessarily hate it, but it's not something that I would put on if it were mine. And then it has the old school billet antenna, which I'm just gonna leave it. To me, like all this stuff other than the wheels I can deal with, but here's the biggest one that says, like, it screams to me Truckin' Magazine, like those little ads they used to display in there. Check out these gauges, guys. Flamed gauges. That is terrible. And honestly, if I get I'm looking for another cluster, and I may end up pulling the piece out of that. The mileage is way more on this. This only has 190,000 miles. That one's got like 270, so I don't want to just switch clusters. They should interchange, but I could at least take the face off. This is terrible at night because it's so translucent that you can hardly tell what's on and what's not. Just not a huge fan of that. A couple things I also want to show you that I've never seen on one of these trucks. It's a console and it is a 4-door truck. That one over there is a 3-door, so it doesn't have a door on the driver's side like this. This one's got doors on both sides, which is definitely nicer than having to put everybody in on the passenger side of that truck. But the other thing that screams 90s to me, I really feel like this person built this truck in the 90s, even though it's an 01. Check this remote out. I thought, what is this? This is weird. Listen. It's got like a old school Viper alarm or something. I haven't seen one of those in years. But this is one thing that I noticed when I was changing the oil, because I changed the oil the other day on this thing. And I've never seen this, and I think it's because it's a California spec truck. I've seen this on F bodies, but check this out in this corner up here. This is an air injection pump. Now, on the Camaros, Trans Ams and stuff, I've always removed those. They set down here in the inner fender on a Trans Am, like underneath, and they piped up the side and went into the top of the headers, kind of like this does. So you can see this line runs into the top side of the header on both sides. And what it does is it pumps air into the motor to help clear emissions. But I have never seen that. I've had at least 50 of these trucks, guys, and I have not once seen this whole debacle of stuff there. Now, a lot of times this is just an open area on these trucks, but for some reason, like I said, I think it's a California emissions deal that this thing's on there. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Doesn't, oh yeah, right here. This vehicle conforms to California regulations. I bet that's why. I've never seen this either. Well, maybe I have seen that. Not with this, if applicable. Air injection module. So, really weird deal. Like I said, guys, there's not a whole lot of plans on this thing other than I would like to lower it eventually. That truck has a 4-inch drop on the back. I would like to move that stuff over to this truck and then maybe just buy a set of spindles, but a 2.4 drop on this thing and a different set of wheels that are easier for me to keep up with, since it is going to be sitting outside. It's been sitting outside here. It's going to sit outside at the shop. It's going to have tires put in the back of it, so I'll probably end up taking the bed cover off. I don't love it anyway. It's a folding one, and the way it folds is weird, so may end up taking that off. It's in okay shape, but it'll just be easier to throw stuff in and out of the back if that weren't on there. So anyway, I just wanted to show you guys the newest addition to well, I won't say here, but you're going to see it in the background because like I said, I am driving it back and forth. I haven't been using my gray truck, my newer Sierra, ever since I bought this thing. I just love like these body style trucks. To me, they're one of the best riding, best performing, easy maintenance. That's another thing I wanted. The Dodge is starting to get some age on it at the shop, and it's needing some stuff. and it's just more expensive, and this is a better truck in my opinion. My Dodge is like a 2000 model. So if you guys did enjoy the new truck, or if you think some of those things are cool, like from the 90s on that truck, let me know in the comments down below. But guys, if you are not subscribed, go down, hit that subscribe button. Of course, like always, ring that bell notification. That will notify you every single time we drop a new video. And stay tuned to see what we work on next.